We're live again, man. Curious Tamils are here, man. Curious Tamils are here. Curious Tamils podcast, episode 30, man. Episode 30. We back
Man,
again.
30, man. We get in the 30.
Yeah, me, man. We 30, man. So let's do this, man. Let's do this. I want to play you this video and let's jump into this topic today. You ready, man?
I'm ready, man. I'm ready. I'm wobbing out here, man.
No, man. Let's go.
Slow down.
நீ யாரு
மாமா
வெளியே போ நீ யாரு
மச்சான்
நீ வெளியே போ நீங்க
சொந்தக்காரன்
வெளியே போ நீ யாரு
நண்பன்
நீ இருக்கலாம் உள்ள போ
So listen, man. The first time I saw this scene from the movie Baba, right?
Baba,
I,
yeah.
I was like, why does Rajini hate relatives? Why is that? I was
Yeah,
like,
especially when they said like Sondagana, the disrespect.
Disrespect was real for real, man. I'm like, I was confused out here, man. But
Bro, you know what? I actually watched this. I was very young, all right, because I wasn't woke or tuned enough to understand that the back then. When did that came out? Like this is like I'm talking. This is
2000.
eight years ago, man.
more. No.
No,
more.
I think it's 8 or 10 years ago. I watched it.
Oh, you
You know,
watched it, okay.
Baba, yeah. So you know what? It's really good place to discuss what is exactly
Yeah,
because
and before we
I
jump into it, let me just tell if anyone doesn't know Tamil. So in the scene, basically, Rajini walks in and he's asking them, "Who are you?" He's the guy is like, "I'm your brother-in-law." He's like, "Okay, you gotta get out." And he asks another person, "Who are you?" "We are relatives. You gotta get out." And the last person is like, "Who are you?" "I'm a friend." "Okay, you can stay." So it's like that's basically the scene, man. So it's an interesting scene. Like it's everyone
Very
kind of likes this scene.
yeah.
But I was confused at the time because like, okay, are relatives that bad? Are they
Yeah.
that bad? It's like what kind of influence is Rajini doing?
What made him to drop those lines like that? What made him, man?
Yeah, the minute there's a Sondakarang is like, "Nee veli po."
Man, yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. I guess what is that? I mean, what is it, man? Especially
So
what interesting is why did he say to the friend, the Nanban, neither, but rest of the
yeah.
relatives got
So
kicked out.
I think we gotta break this down. We gotta talk
Mm.
about the Namban bit at the part two of this. So the part one of it would be the relatives. It's basically he probably been hurt. So let's not even take Rajini out of this. Let's take real life examples and just talk about it. Like within the
Mm.
Asian community, or even I don't know other. I can only talk for the Asian community because I'm Asian. So that's this thing. Sometimes relatives get into your business too much, right?
Relatives go under your skin. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Relatives have. You know what? In my opinion, especially Kamala and you know that, Kamala auntie, the Kamala auntie. You know what? These people doesn't know the boundary. You know what I mean? There's, some relatives, man. They can just come and shit on your mental health, just like that. Just like that. This is their job. Their job is husband pumping money, and all they do shit around and fucking
And
destroy,
judge people, and
judging other people
but
and destroying other people's happiness.
it's like a machine gun, bro. Non-stop judging. It's like they jump from one judging to another. And let's put a disclaimer out here. This is not all relatives, man. There are great relatives out there. We are just talking about this.
But you know what, man? In every relative, there is this bitches. There is
Yeah,
this
yeah.
motherfucker. There is this.
And
uncle.
definitely.
There is this.
And that's what we're talking about. And that's what Rajini are here talking about too. So
Yeah, I mean that's what it is, man. That's interesting. Why do you think? Why do you think they think it's okay? It's okay to get
I
get
think,
personal.
yeah, I think there's a boundary, right? I think
Is it because they think that because they're related they can say shit?
no, I think not really. It's not just that. I think we given them the permission over time. Like there's a line between.
Because we
That's
didn't
why.
check them.
That's why friends, we might have better relationship because they came later in life, so the boundary is established and we don't cross that boundary. And
Mm,
even with friends, if you cross that boundary too much, you can experience these situations as well. But
mm.
I think with relatives, over time, they somehow there is no boundary, and all of a sudden they're in your life and they know everything about you, and now they're able to say shit and get away with, no, yeah, say shit and get away with stuff what most people can't, right?
But then, you know what, man? That's interesting. That's really the point. I think that is just they don't know the boundary. But then it's not just judging, but sometimes it can get into like insulting. Like you deliberately want to hurt that person. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like at that point, you think like, what is it because I didn't check them? Is it because I didn't tell them what the fuck he's saying in the first place, and they don't know where to stop?
It's like when they become insensitive, right?
Yeah, like, bruh, man, I don't know, man. I don't know about other cultures, man, like black culture, white culture. I don't know about that, but man, Indian, Asian culture, man, some of these fucking relatives, some of these Kamala aunties, they are brutal. They will compare their son to you. They will compare their daughter-in-law to your wife. They will
Y-
tell you, my daughter-in-law cooks better food than yours. Bruh, they will tell you, oh, my son is an aeromatic engineer. My
yeah.
son is building aeroplanes. Oh, oh,
You ain't got shit. You ain't got shit. You ain't doing shit. Yeah, man. Like it's in my relatives personally. I think I'm lucky. Like it's not no, it's not dilemma. There are people there, like you said. There's always someone,
they're always
but it's not.
some.
But the way I identify this is the one is so easy for me because they stand out so much, right? Like
Mm.
because especially in Western world, I feel like in Western worlds, even relatives we have this distance, right? Even I feel like relatives sometimes move like friends, so it's like healthy.
Yeah, but then you know what? Yeah, you're right. But then some bitches in my family circles, I'm not even close, but they still have the mouth, man. I'm
Really?
not even close. I don't even see them, but it's just they have that label. Oh, I'm your
Yeah.
relative. I can tell you whatever you want.
Yeah.
You know,
So how do we deal with these motherfuckers, man?
bro.
How do we
That you
deal
know
with
what? I wanted to ask you that. How the fuck we deal with these kind of?
I
I
think
mean,
it's
because this is time for these kind of changes. Because these
yeah,
these fat bitches, they can't be. I mean, obviously, I'm not saying they're not physically fat because they can't be sitting around and just judging and destroying people's happiness like that. You know what I mean? That era is gone. That needs to stop. Because people are out there
definitely,
doing what they
definitely.
want to do, and then you should let them do whatever they want to do. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, and if you see these people, man, they love to gossip. They all have one thing in common. They love to gossip,
Gossips
and
and they haven't got anything better to do. Usually the husband, write this down. Usually the husband pumping the money and they got nothing else to do. Because if you have something to do, you're busy in your life, you will
mm,
focus on your shit. But they
you
don't
ain't got you ain't got time to judge other people and insult
you ain't
other
got
people.
time to judge people, man, because you're not focusing on your shit. You're focusing on somebody else business.
Mm. Yeah, man. So, like, what was I saying? So, how
Yeah,
do we
how are we gonna
stop?
deal with this? I mean, how are we gonna
How,
deal with this? I
I
mean,
think it depends, right? Like, it depends how close it is, man. I think feel like I don't know. It depends who you are, man. I'm the kind of guy that I'm ready to cut throat, bro. I'm ready to cut you out of my life, straight up,
bruh, you
straight
know
up.
what? You okay? You that can be applied in some scenarios, man, but you can't apply that in all. You can't just cut that because sometimes it's deeply rooted, and if you cut that person, you have to cut the whole family. You know what I
Mm.
mean? It's just it doesn't work sometimes that way. But you know what? Before I go in there, man, it's damn. I had something to say, and then it's completely gone. But then again, cutting is definitely an option, but that should be the last resort. You know what I mean? That should
That's
be
what
the last.
Rajini just did, man. Get the fuck out of here, man. Imagine, bro. Imagine. This is what we should do. Imagine next time we walk into a family function or something, man. You
Oh,
know, we could
hey,
every Kamala auntie, niare,
Wale, wale,
probably
wale, wale,
niare.
wale. Bro, but you listen this, yeah. You know what? Things get really worse let's say you make it in your life. You know what? Just because these Kamalantis. By the way, guys, sorry we mentioning Kamalantis because we got nothing against the Kamalanti name or
And
Kamalan name. It's
and
just
if someone doesn't know what the Kamala auntie is, man, it's basically is kind of the Tamil community has given a name in it for the aunties who are like gossipy and
yeah.
tell you shit. They have this name now. They are Kamala aunties, so it's a good name. So we know who we're talking about. Innit? So
Bro, listen this scenario. This is what Kamalantis do. Yeah, let's say you make it in a life by selling drawings, and you love painting, and you paint, and you're selling
Kamala
drawings.
auntie don't give a shit. You're a failure.
Come on, man. Let me get the spotlight, man. Let me get the spotlight, man. Well, so let's say you make it, you love painting, you paint and you start to sell it, and your business just pumps in. But guess what? This bitch Kamalanti have in a fucking ignorant mind, only doctors are and lawyers and engineers are the only one who made it, right? And guess
Yeah.
what? You in a birthday party, Kamalanti rolls in. You say, "Oh yeah, I'm a drawer. I'm an artist." Artist. எந்த மகன் தெரியும் தானே அவர் வந்து pilot. Oh, அவர் pilot.
Bruh,
சும்மா அந்த ஆர்டிஸ்ட் எல்லாம் அவருக்கு சரி வராது தெரியும்.
bro, sometimes the kid is like 12 years old and they will say shit like, oh, pilotக்கு தான் படிக்க போறாராம், அவர் pilotக்கு தான் படிப்பார். They'll start.
When they say that, no, he doesn't want to study for pilot. You want him to study for
Yeah,
pilot.
and like, and the thing is, man, like the question you said the Kamala aunties asked, they sometimes do that from a young age, man. They do that to the young ones. Forget him drawing arts in his 20s or whatever. They're
Yeah,
like, when he's like 15, 14, they were like, oh, how much grade, how many A stars you got, how much that you got, who
Bro, 14, man, they will compare because I know this. At 4, என்ன உங்களோட பையன் நான் 1-2 சொல்றானே. ஒன்று ரெண்டு சொல்றானே. எப்படியும் 1-2 எழுதுவான் தெரியும் தானே. இப்ப 1-2 எழுதுவான். அடுத்தது அவன் இப்ப ஏபிசி எல்லாம் எழுத பழகிட்டான். கூட எழுதுறானே. அவன் கொஞ்சம் ஸ்லோ போல இருக்கு. Bro, imagine.
Okay, listen. It clicked for me, man. It clicked for me. So I think this is what has happening, man. So like normally humans, we have this competitive edge in us, right? And we are supposed to use that in a positive way. We're supposed to use that as positive way. I think when you're so unconscious and unaware and so narrow-minded, I think these people started using it just within the people around them, and maybe they are thinking like they are it's like Real Madrid versus Barcelona going on, like it's a football match out here, and they're thinking this is how it's supposed to be. Because 100%, man, I'm convinced these Kamala aunties or any relatives who do shit like this, they believe this is what they're supposed to be doing. Like they don't even see that like this is being order here. What do you mean? This is how it's supposed to be.
And you know what? Their way of putting other people down is their way of like winning a score.
They have a goal.
They go.
And at the end of the year,
they've been putting goals, man.
Imagine that. Imagine you're a Kamala auntie. Let's go this way. Like, imagine you're like a relative who puts down people. Like, let's say you have a score. I put down 10 people in a week. Imagine they have a score like that, bro. Like, by the end of the month, by the end of the year, they are winning World Cups, Champions League, everything.
Bro, they are the elite game squad.
They're Ronaldo and Messi level.
Bro, and you know what the worst thing is? Especially like in a wedding or birthday party, a couple of Kamalanis get together. Oh my God.
Ooh.
You know what? You gotta call the Uber straight up. You don't want to stay around. You don't want to stay around, especially if you want to be positive the rest of the day. Especially you want to go sleep peacefully. You want to call the Uber. You done out the birthday party, the cake, fuck the cake, man.
Yeah, bro, it's sad, man. There's so many new generation Tamil girls and guys like who totally, because of these motherfuckers, man, they totally abandoned all things. They cut off. They're like really get out of. They stay away from relatives. They don't want nothing to do with this, just because of the pain they went through, innit?
Yeah, it's sad, bro. But then flipping the coin on the other side, right? A friend could be also come along to you. It doesn't have to be a relate, because friend can come with like competitive mind, and he could like
100%.
put you down. So
Yeah,
why Rajini actually said it Nanban, maybe it's a different depth to it.
maybe it's like let's we have to group it like this. Friends, we have to say it like, like a good friend and a good family. Like a family member can be a good friend as well. Like, you can have a good friendship between
But then
your
Rajini
cousin.
was just asking though. I'm just coming back to the scene. He was just
Yeah. I
asking
think
like,
I think the point he was trying to make is, okay, I trust you more than these guys are here. These guys,
because these guys can stab you.
yeah, I don't trust these guys. You cool? Okay, you're a friend. Okay, fine. You go. I guess he's just showing a little bit more respect for, for the friend. But even in real life, if we take that in real life, um friendships, man, a good friendship is decent, man. It's like you have your boundaries, and people have close friendship, and they make sometimes for a
Bro,
lot of people, the friends are family. You know what I mean? And it works both ways. And I guess it's like you said, it doesn't
bro,
have to be.
you know what? I don't agree with you in that. You don't necessarily have to have boundary. As long as you're positive toward the person, man,
Hmm,
you don't
hmm,
need to have boundary. You can
definitely not.
get into a shit.
Yeah,
But you just have to keep it positive. You
yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean? You don't have to have, because you know what, the boundary, you're limiting that relationship already. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Because you can have a open relationship, like you can accept that person, and you about the things you're doing. You don't need a fuck. That relationship can exponentially grow, bro. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
I totally get that, man. But when I say boundary, it's like when I've seen my relationship with people, it's like and with my friends and family, there's this boundary. And by boundary, I mean, like, I don't need to share anything with you. Like
Yeah, yeah,
sometimes, but you know what I mean? Sometimes the friends, they don't need to know what I'm up to. They don't need to
yeah,
know my salary. They don't need to
yeah.
like exact details of my life. But we cool, both okay with that. But
Bro,
sometimes with you see family, they want to know all that.
bro,
There,
bro, you know what? You know what the
and
worst thing?
and
That
you see, there's no
I just
boundary there. There's no boundary
yeah,
there. Like, so you got to share everything with you. And the worst part is, man, once you share that, they have they can judge your life now, like, because they
bro,
got all the informations.
bro. You know what? I want to go back to the point you just said, bro. Somebody gotta let these right. You're right. This is only comes from usually family members related, right? You can't ask a man, or you can't sneakily throw some questions trying to find how much this motherfucker earning, right?
Bruh,
That
listen, there's only one reason they want to know. Not that they're happy for you, but there's only
how much
one
respect
reason
want
they
to
want to know, to compare it with the other salary, whatever they have in their mind. That's all.
the
There's no other
salary.
reason.
And also, you know what, I heard about some this, and I think this is really interesting as well. You know what, people want to find out, people want to find out these things, you know why? To calculate how much respect they want to give it to you. And that's the
Ooh,
worst thing. That's the worst thing. People want to find out how much you earn,
ooh,
how much property you have,
dang.
what car you drive. They're calculating how much respect you want. But the moment you drop that, I work in McDonald's, the respect level goes down. And that's a hard.
I need to play this one more time, man. I'm pissed off. I'm pissed off.
DR.
மாமா
Fuck off.
DR.
மச்சான்
Get the
Yeah.
fuck out of here.
சொந்தக்காரன்
Bah, 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 bah. Man,
Man,
listen, man. So go back to that point, man. Like,
bruh,
that's deep, though, man.
they calculate the amount of respect they want to give to you by asking your possessions, the money you have, how much you earn. You know, tell
Yeah.
bro, you know what? I deliberately sometimes have said it in the past, right? I'm a cleaner. I swear to God, I have said it deliberately so many times. I'm a cleaner.
Just to neutralize their head. Like,
You-
okay, what are you gonna do now? What are you gonna do
and guess
now?
what? And if you're going to talk to me, then I will have a beautiful conversation with you, because you now, went past. You just, if you're having conversation after that with me, then you ignore the fact I'm a cleaner.
Yeah.
We might have
Yeah.
a beautiful conversation.
Yeah, I think that happens with all the questions these guys ask. We are talking about just relatives who want to know too much about you for the bad reason, not for good reasons, man, not for good reasons, and
I
they're
mean,
gonna judge.
just the thing. I think cleaning is a beautiful job, man. I mean, whatever you do is a beautiful thing. Cleaning, you might have a passion. Guess what? Do you? I recently experienced this cleaning. There was this family who was cleaning, and bruh, how they embraced that job and how much they were getting paid is beautiful. I have nothing against this. I'm just saying uh, sometimes, because especially the Tamil community, they don't respect the cleaning job. But you need to come out that, because cleaning job can be a completely beautiful thing
Yeah,
when you love that, how you go into detail.
definitely, definitely, bro. Obviously, these guys don't know. Not they already have a scale in their head, man. They already
Yeah,
have a
that's what I
scale in
mean.
their head.
Yeah,
So
guys,
they
I wanna finish this off, right? I don't want to go off this time. Next time, guys, you talk, you in a birthday party, you in a wedding party, whatever. Someone asks you, what do you do for a living? If that's what the first thing or the second thing or third thing they're asking, just tell them you're a cleaner and see how they react, and see how their perspective and the respect level will all of a sudden change. And guess what? And from that you don't need that person in your life if that changes.
Definitely, man. Definitely. Like those kind of people who try to judge, I mean, try to not even judge the word you said, like try to measure how much respect they want to give you based on the information you give them, and fuck off. They can fuck off out of my
They,
life,
they
man.
can take my suck my long balls, man.
That's right. That's right, man. They can do that too. But listen, man. But before we go, man, shout out to the good families out there, man. Who who stick around, who we show love and everything, man. Which there's a plenty of, man. So shout out to them. Whoever they are, and shout out to all the Nanbans out there, everyone, man. We the curious Tamils, man. Hope you enjoyed the
Yeah,
podcast. So
we
make sure you subscribe and like this video, man. Yeah, like my man said, man. We out.